This is either my best idea or my worst idea.
Maybe we should go out farther, dude. Dude, we're drifting hella. Can't tell, dude. We drifted a lot really fast. It seems like it's fast, doesn't it? The current seems kind of strong. But we're not moving though. Good, dude, we're anchored.
Man, we came a long way from launching $100 inflatable rafts at Baker Beach in the ocean. Now we're launching 16-foot Arima sea chasers in the ocean, and we're anchoring with a real anchor instead of a rebar anchor. Now I'm doing this solo today, and that's the main reason is because if you ever find yourself out here alone and your motor dies, your batteries die, you can't start the engine, you find yourself drifting towards the rock, you find yourself drifting towards shore, the only way to save yourself before help gets there is to throw the anchor, throw the pick, keep the boat in one place while help is on the way. Now here's a little tip. Here's something that you may not have known. If you're just passing by the marina, you might see boats like this all around, attached to a buoy. Maybe they had their anchor out. And if you see the anchor line going straight, it's always attached to the bow, well, most of the time. And if it is, you can see all these balls, all these buoys are in front of the boats. And then when you see that, you can tell that the current is pushing that way. It's pushing the boat away from the anchor, and the bow is what cuts the water. And that's always the thing that's facing the current if you're throwing anchor. So that's just one little thing to look for. And well, we're gonna get out there. This is the anchor here. This is a Danforth anchor. And this is made for soft sand. This is made for going into the sand. It digs in and that holds the boat. And my boat is a 16-foot boat, and this is a 9-pound anchor. And what I did last night was I drilled a hole at the bottom of the anchor. And with this chain, I zip tied it to the shaft up to the front, so it's gonna go like that. Now, if this ever got stuck or snagged in a rock or something, and I needed to get out, I don't want to break my anchor chain. So if I do get stuck, this zip tie will break, and then the anchor will be able to pull straight up like that. So that's the idea behind this zip tying your chain to your anchor shaft. So I've got 20 feet of chain just in case I have to anchor in 100 feet of water one day. And what this anchor does is this holds down on the sand, and it allows the anchor to dig in. If it's too short, the rope will just keep it up, and it's not going to be able to get a good dig into the sand. So we're going to go out there, throw the anchor, see if it works, and learn a few lessons along the way. If you have a boat and you've never anchored before, I'd suggest going out, spending a whole day just practicing. Throw the anchor a few times. That way you'll get the hang of it, just in case you're ever in that emergency situation and you don't have time to act. You can throw the anchor out and you won't be fumbling around. Now, I turned off the motor, put my life jacket on, pretending that I'm drifting towards shore, and now I got to determine which way am I drifting. Although it's not that important when you've got to throw the pick immediately, for just today's sake, I'm going to try to figure out which way I'm drifting first. So I'm looking at two landmarks, actually 4 landmarks. One straight ahead and another one 90 degrees to my left. So I got a house right there and some trees behind it. Now if the house starts moving that way, then I know I'm moving that way. And if everything on my left side is staying still, I know I'm drifting straight towards that way. Or if things start moving a little bit in relation to each other, I'll figure out which way I'm drifting. And that's so important after you do set the pick to determine if you are staying still or if you're still dragging that anchor. So it looks like I'm pretty much drifting with the waves. The wind is coming from this way, so it's also pushing me. And that's another big factor, but it looks like I'm being pushed this way. So I'm gonna drop the anchor and we should spin around just like those boats in the harbor. And our anchor rope should be facing that way. Our boat bow will be facing towards the wind. Our stern will be facing towards the harbor. Bow is the front of the boat, stern is the back of the boat. Port side is the left side of the boat, starboard is the right side. You can remember port side because port has 4 letters just like left. Port side, starboard, bow, stern. Let's get this anchor thrown. All right, we're gonna throw this thing up, let's go. We're actually drifting kind of fast here. Now I got the anchor, got the zip ties on top, chain's ready to go. Everything's in my bucket down here, my rope, my chain. Got 200 feet of rope just in case. Now I'm gonna climb up here on the bucket. They always say don't throw the anchor, so you gotta put it in there nicely, put it in the water. Oh my God. Oh my God. There goes that. Well, the drone just sunk to the bottom of the ocean, but that's all right. All right, we got the anchor out. All right, let's put the anchor over the front here. All right. All right, we're dropping anchor now. It's dropping it nice and slow. We didn't throw it, just letting it sink down to hit bottom. Once it hits bottom, should be in about 40 feet of water. All right, we're on bottom now. Now this anchor should start holding and we should start drifting around and it should hold strong. Dang man, just lost my drone though, that sucks. That was gonna be such a cool angle. Oh well, happens. Second drone I lost to the ocean. Let's see, I could turn on the fish finder. We're in 36 feet of water. We got 20 feet of chain, so we got 15 feet of rope that's up right now. So we want 5 times the length of rope out opposed to the depth. Now we're drifting relatively fast. I think I've got about 90 feet out and I think that might just be good. The current isn't crazy strong. It's not crazy slow though, but you can see the rope is way out there. Now what I'm gonna do with the rope is tie it on the cleat. I'm gonna go one time around, back around again, and then I'm gonna do a locking knot, just like that, and then I'm gonna do one more. All right, now that anchor should hold tight. We're still getting drifted by the wind, but it's gonna take a little time to determine if we're really stuck here or not. So let's keep that rope tight. We'll see if that anchor really digs in or not. So the anchor's been out for about 10 minutes now. I've been keeping my eye on shore on both sides of me, and it doesn't look like my reference points are moving at all. Seems like we're staying pretty stationary for the most part on both sides, but when you're out here, things can be deceiving every once in a while. So if your motor still works, another trick you can use to make sure that you're stuck, throw it into reverse. Like let's say that we're trolling at a speed of 2 miles per hour. If we're trolling at a speed of 2 miles per hour, that's the idle speed of throwing it into reverse, or you know what I mean? So throwing it in, I'm in reverse. That pick is tight. Doesn't look like we're dragging, although I will keep an eye on shore just to make sure. Got my reference points lined up, that telephone pole with the house behind it. We're in reverse, so if we were moving, those reference points should be moving also, but we're not over there. Looks like the pick is stuck. Over here, find our reference points. Are we moving? Nope, doesn't look like it. All right, we're anchored up. We're not moving at all. Now I can throw it back into neutral. Now another great thing about being out here is not just a safety thing. You know, of course, safety is the #1 concern. You should always be prepared for danger. But if you're not worried about it and you have dive gear or something, this just adds a whole nother element of your boating experience. You could throw the pick, take a raft out to shore or to some island, take the raft back to your boat later. It's just once you master anchoring, then it's like just an extra layer of fun. Dang, y'all, man. I was gonna go out in the float tube, y'all. I was gonna go out in the float tube and paddle around my boat, but as I'm pumping it up, there's holes in it. There's holes in the tube chambers inside, so I can't do that. So I guess we got to do the next best thing. Let's do the next best thing. Imagine if you had some friends with you and you love to dive. If you knew how to anchor, you can get out there super easily. Now, obviously I'm alone and I wouldn't really recommend this to anybody, but I'm not diving down. I'm just going for a little swim. Just getting out there. And what I'm going to do first is just swim up current, just to make sure that I can go at a speed that's comfortable to me and that I'm not being drifted towards shore. I also have a long rope that I can hang on to if I need to. And it's not even drifting fast at all. All right, let's get in there. Just go for a little swim. Just get wet. Have some fun. Test out this anchor system, and we're good. Yeah. Drifting, but not drifting too fast. Man, this is way colder than it was when I was in the river. But hey man, I can see how this could be fun. You know, just swimming around. You got the whole ocean as your swimming pool. Ah, yeah, this is nice, man. This is nice. You know, there's not that many swimming pools around me, and I don't get to get in the water very often. This is nice, man. I got a 7mm wetsuit, warm as hell. Learning how to anchor like this increases the possibilities of what I can do with the boat so much. Man, come a long way from getting seasick on that Intex inflatable.
Not feeling too hot. I'm getting a little seasick out here, but the show must go on. Ah!
They're coming out here in the ocean. All right, get back. Oh man, this might be harder than it looks. I don't have a ladder. My plan was to hop in from the transom. Let's get my mask and snorkel up there first. Ah. Back safe. Man, that was fun. I like doing stuff like that. But now it's time to get the anchor back up. And now how I'm going to do this, there's two ways. If the current and wind is really, really strong and your motor still works, you can motor straight up to it so the rope is vertical, okay? But I'm going to take it off the cleat, take the rope off the cleat, pull myself till I'm vertical over the anchor. And as I pull it in, if I can, you know, I'm pulling a 1,200 pound boat, but if I can pull a boat around with 30-pound test, I should be able to pull it around with 3,500 pound test. So rope's just going straight into the bucket, just like we're shrimping, crabbing, trying to keep it all organized. It doesn't really matter if your rope lays down in a circle. I mean, that's the ideal way, but as long as it's sitting on top of each other, it should be okay. Now, if this works, I should be able to just pull up the anchor straight out of the sand once it gets vertical. And if it doesn't, I'll have to use the motor to work it up. And remember, I tied those zip ties on, so if it really is snagged, those zip ties will break and the anchor will flip over and come straight up. That's the theory, at least. Yep, there's anchor. We got it. We up, man. 35 feet, we didn't move an inch. Heck yeah, that was a success. Success. Now let's get the anchor up and stow it away. All right, let's do it. 1 second, y'all. All right, just gonna raise it up through here. Get this chain over the edge. Success. Well, I think that worked out really well. So the only thing that you got to think about when you're anchoring you got to have enough rope. So if you're in 40 feet and you only have 60 feet of rope, you know that the current, the wind is just going to pull the anchor right up. It's not going to be able to sink down into the sand. So just make sure you have enough rope. Figure out what direction of the wind, the current, and if you want to dive, you want to bring out some friends, man, have some fun. Just get out there and yeah, live life, man. Live life to the fullest, y'all. Peace.